Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. I hope everybody's doing well on today. Today, we have a treat for you. I'm telling you, I've been so excited about this situation because I'm not the only one out here today. But yes, we have Prez the Investor and Lisa J-Stoks. Hey, I'm glad that y'all were able to make it. I appreciate both of you. How are y'all doing this morning? Or this afternoon or this evening, wherever you are in the world? How's everything?
I'm doing good, Robert. Thanks for having us on today. Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate the invite.
I'm awesome. I would like to thank you for having me on today. And hello, everybody in the chat. Let's hope we have a good show today.
Oh yeah, most
Definitely.
definitely, most definitely, most definitely. Boss lady, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Boss lady is saying hello, Lisa, and everyone. So, boss lady, Denise is saying hello, Lisa, and everyone. So I hope everybody's doing well on today. Yes, we have an action-packed show for you today. Listen, y'all. Generally, I come on live, and it's amazing when you have people who actually rock with the same subject. Now, I'm not saying y'all don't rock with the same subject. Hey, chocolate drop, welcome in, welcome in. Y'all don't rock with the same subject. What I'm saying is when the people who you listen to, they know what they're talking about. And I'm telling y'all, Lisa and Prez the Investor knows exactly what they're talking about. So there's a lot of people that are on YouTube who talk and you listen, but they don't know what they're talking about because you listen. They tell on themselves. You're like, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. We're not financial advisors giving financial investment advice, but I'm telling you, when I'm normally on live and I say, hey, by the way, I'm going to this channel, I really do mean what I'm saying. I really appreciate both of them. They drop a lot of nuggets, a lot of jewels for everyone. And I definitely appreciate both of them. So got a question. Pretty much the basic of the conversations today. First of all, how's everybody doing in the chat? Everybody, if you're doing well, let us know in the chat how you're doing. We want to make sure that you're doing well. How's everybody doing in the chat? How's everybody doing in the chat? Let us know, let us know, let us know. We want to know. We want to know. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. And I know it's a lag on the end, so we're going to wait. If you're doing well today, say hello. Say doing well. If you're doing well today. You might see me typing to the side. I'm typing to the side. So, Lisa, how was your week this week?
It's been pretty good. As far as the stock market, I should have made more money because the way things are right now, people and different places that I don't hear about stock talk. It's there. It's there. People are talking about, Bonk and Shiba Inu and people that don't know much made money this week. I did make some, but I should have made more. Even my boss, I was passing by his desk and we talk stocks, me and my boss and I, but he brought up the conversation and really that's all we were sitting at his desk talking about. And he's a little scary, but I say to him all the time, like, you've known me for a few years. I'm not gonna do anything that's gonna he's always like, when I mention options, he's always like, oh, Lisa, that's risky, that's dangerous, you can lose all of your money. And I'm like, come on, you know me. I'm not gonna do things in a way that is irresponsible. But I got through the week and I'm here now on Saturday, hoping for a little rest and relaxation this evening. We're not
So,
hearing you. Oh, okay.
yeah, no. So, I was hitting mute. So, Prayers, how did your week go this week?
Pretty good. I did a little bit of trading this week. Made a few pennies. I can't complain. Pretty good week.
Anything special?
Nothing special. I traded options on the SPY, and I'm currently now in a bonk trade that's just pretty much running flat right now. I got a stop loss on the course, so no need to babysit. I just peek on it every now and again.
I understand. Well, my week was well. Y'all listen. Behind the scenes, we all do a lot of work behind the scenes. You know, a lot of people don't understand what it's like when you're doing this on this side and you're doing this on this side and you're constantly on the move. But here's the good thing about it. We are actually here. Welcome in, everybody. We're actually here because we want to make sure that everyone around our circle wins. That's the bottom line. I mean, I know I want to make sure everybody wins. That's why I'm here. You know, somebody said to me, I'm not going to mention any names. They said, are you going to dress up one day? I said, oh, okay. I got to dress up now. So I had to up my ante. I had to put on, you know, a little, yeah, you know, tie, you know, I had, you know, so if y'all noticing like, okay, you learned what's going on, Robert, you always in a t-shirt. What's up with this suit? What's up? Listen, somebody said, I'm not going to mention no names, but somebody said to me, listen, are you going to dress up? And I had to, you know, I had to up the ante, y'all. So today we are going to talk about how much can fear cost you? How much can fear cost you? I don't know. I mean, has fear cost you anything, Prez?
You said has fear cost me anything?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fear. I'm gonna give you a story. The FTX scandal, the whole FTX thing. It pretty much scared me out of everything except Bitcoin. So meaning I sold a lot. I sold everything except my Bitcoin for a loss, basically, for a nice loss.
Wow. What about you, Lisa? Has fear cost you anything?
I can't say necessarily fear, but you know, we didn't get deep into it, but from the way you described the live conversation you wanted us to have today, I think it's more of we're going to cover procrastination, uncertainty, and just other elements to it. I wouldn't necessarily say fear because I've been working full time since, you know, I was about 19. So, you know, when my HR personnel back then, whatever, when they presented me with the, you know, you want to contribute to the 401k, I did it. Did I do it to the best of, did I maximize that opportunity? Was I increasing my contribution? Was I looking at it? Did I understand? Knew how to have an understanding of the performance? No, but I was a part of it. Even with a small income, I was always contributing something. So I wouldn't say necessarily fear has been my biggest obstacle, but there are other things that have held me back from being the best investor and maximizing the opportunity the way that I wish I would have.
I totally understand. I would say fear has cost me. You know, see, a lot of times people say they don't know. And they say, well, I don't know. Well, I didn't have the teaching. I didn't understand, but I had no excuse. My grandmother sold insurance, life insurance. My mother sold life insurance. My dad sold life insurance. Guess who else sold life insurance? Myself. So a lot of things I learned early, but I just didn't do. You know, a lot of people say things, but they just don't do. But the whole point, like you said, Lisa, we're actually here to talk about exactly what we can do differently so that we won't be in the same scenarios or have other people in our family in the scenario that we're in. So I got a question for people in the chat. I hope everybody's hearing me well. Number one, if fear has cost anyone in the chat, let us know. And someone is saying something. Why not? Lisa, if you don't mind reading that for us, please.
So they're saying, I believe greed has cost me more than fear in the market. And so I'm guessing that he's saying that greed has maybe led him to do things in a way that caused him to lose money in the long run, when obviously that was not the goal. And that is another obstacle that we've been touching on the last few weeks, or through our collaborations of chatting live. Definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely. Why not? I totally can understand that. Greed. A mentor of mine, we always have the conversation, and in the conversation, before it was fear, not wanting to do anything. Then it was procrastination, waiting. Well, maybe this trade will turn around, and the this is looking this way. I need to wait on the entry point. And then it was more or less you're in a trade and you just get greedy. So I can totally understand that. I can tell you, just a quick story. When Dogecoin ran up, I really don't talk about certain, money made, because I don't really, get into it. I don't like bragging, but Dogecoin, I was able to get it very, very, very early. But in one account, I just held the bag all the way up and all the way down. And another account, I didn't, but at the same token, that whole greed factor, I can understand that. What about you, Prez?
I most certainly can understand the greed factor about it. I can give you an example. I bought one contract for $35. I had a stop loss on. Don't get me wrong, I did have a stop loss on, but I was too greedy to manually move my stop loss up to lock in the profit. I watched it go up about $200, and then I watched it come down. I only came out with $100 and some change out the deal per contract, but still, I could have made a lot more if I wasn't being so greedy.
Wow. 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 Good stuff. Now, Lisa, you had an excellent graphic about something about, when you're young, a lot of people, you may have kids, grandkids, you may be an uncle or aunt or whatnot, whatever the case may be. And we want to show you something. Now, it's not financial advice or anything, but we want to show you something in which you can make some moves now, power moves, to set up some people potentially, for the long run. Let me go ahead and share it.
Okay, so you mentioned the kids. So this is something I pulled. I think this is the one you were referring to. So $100 a month invested on behalf of the parents. Oh, and Robert, I have a question for you after this. And listen, guys, if $100 from age 0 to 18 monthly, if that sounds like that wouldn't fit into my budget, please know you can scale this to whatever works for you. Don't feel like don't hang on to the numbers. Sometimes I don't like to even show numbers because I don't want anybody to feel like, well, I couldn't do that, so I'm not going to do anything at all. Do what works for you. But this scenario is showing a parent invests $100 on behalf of their child 0 to 18. The child then continues to contribute the same $100 from age 18 to 38, and then stops contributing altogether and just lets compound interest, dividends coming in, and just lets it grow until age 65. And the outcome is over $2 million. So this is what we don't want: fear to hold you back, fear and not having the knowledge to hold people back from accomplishing for themselves or their family.
Wow. 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 See, wow. It's a
And this, let me just also throw this in there. This is dependent upon what you are invested into and the rate of return. So, we're not saying you have to put a little effort into making a good sound choice, but this is the kind of outcome that you can have. You just have to give it time.
And most definitely. There was a saying, and I'm sure Lisa and Prez, the investor, knows about this. Says compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. And that was about Albert Einstein. I'm going to repeat that again. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. So what do you think that means, Prez? I know you know what it means, but what's your insight on that?
Oh man, that's like something that I one of my motivating quotes that I pretty much read every day. The power of compound interest. I mean, I really don't know how to like explain it. Like it's just once you see it, once you experience it, you'll be coming up with other ways to invest more than what you already able to invest. I can almost guarantee you that. Like you can start small all you want because that's all you can afford. But once you fully understand the power of compound interest and you see it before your own eyes, you'll start creating other streams of income, maybe pick up a second job, a side hustle, or what have you, so that you can put more money into your investments.
That's true. That's true. What are your thoughts about it, Lisa?
I mean, I just it's all the same thing that I've already been saying that I think a lot of people have not put have people that are starting out with their investing journey or just have not been looking at the numbers don't have the stretch of time that maybe you or I, Robert, have to say, okay, this portfolio, this particular investment, this particular target date fund, whatever it is, let's see, let's look at the progress over 10 years, 15, 20 plus years. Once you can see that for yourself, then you can really get your head around, okay, I'm really making strides and I'm really accomplishing something here. And I think that sometimes when we're looking at the investment calculator and we're just, trying to share the information with people, they're just really not truly grasping that this is what's going to happen. This is how my money can grow. I'm going to do a video. I was talking to my daughter on Monday night. I was showing her one of her accounts, and our contribution into the account has been about $4,000. But the night that I was showing it to her, her account balance, I think, was 5,001. So I want her to understand, where that extra $1,000 is coming from. And I want her to see that and be cool about it too, and not think this is all I have. And if I want something, oh, I have to sell this. No, I want her to look at it and see that I can grow this long term. And and I know it's not everyone's goal to be a millionaire, but to accomplish whatever goal you set for yourself, because we all need to have something to fall back on. We all are going to get older and not be able to be out here working 2 jobs, 80 hours a week, whatever our particular story is. It can only go on for so long. So I always try to give the encouragement, hey, look to the people around you, look to the older people that maybe you can talk to in person, or that you may be called upon to help, like your grandma or your great uncle or whatever, and try to get an understanding of if their financials are what you want in your life, get an understanding of that so you can put it in place for yourself. If they are not, the same thing, get an understanding so that you can create something that is then going to be better. And please, Robert, rein me in if I'm if I'm
Oh no,
talking.
you good. Hey, you good. Hey, you are good. Hey, you are good. I was looking at the chat, listening. Listen, you're absolutely right about what you said. As it relates to compound and it relates to showing your daughter, it starts in the home first. Like, so if I have a sister I have twin nieces.
Oh,
And
that's
I'm
the
sure I
question.
know. I already knew. I
That's
already
the
knew. Yeah, we'll
question.
talk about that
Oh,
offline. We'll talk about offline. I already knew that's what you was
offline?
going. Yeah. That's an offline one. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's
Let me
it's
write it
still.
down because I don't want to
Yeah.
let you go today. It's been a month since I talked to you.
Yeah, that's still that's a sizzling egg right there.
Okay,
So
all right.
I
Keep
knew what
me.
you were saying. I knew where you was going with that one. Um, but yeah, thing about it, she's a college professor, and as it relates to anything, a lot of times people, and I'm not saying this about people who are educated, because some or all of us may have degrees or may not have degrees. That's not even the point of the conversation. The conversation is, case in point, my expertise is not necessarily in graphics. That's not my, but Lisa, when I tell you she does good with graphics, she does well. I was like, how do you do what again? You do what? You do what with what? you talking about? You do what? Say what? Como te llamos? Me llamo Roberto? I don't understand. But yeah, everyone has a great expertise and everyone has things. But here's the good thing about anything. Compound interest doesn't care who you are. Compound interest doesn't care what side of the tracks you were born. Compound interest don't care if you drive the bus, if you ride on the plane, if you got a private jet, if you walk to school, if you're in the back of your uncle's car, if you riding with your aunt, if you are driving, if you're using Patent Turner, which is country talk for feet. Compound interest doesn't care. It just, as it relates to compound interest, it's about you doing something, you starting. Lisa, you had a great graphic about something next. Could you go ahead and put that up?
Okay, so what is it? What is it?
The,
Something that
the second graphic you show, the second one.
the second one I showed you? Okay.
Yep.
All right. I need
Go ahead and pop
permission.
it up. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. There you go.
All right. So compound interest. Yes. Okay. So this scenario, this is another key point that I really, we didn't have a great detailed discussion, but this is what I interpreted from um Robert's title, because Robert chose the topic for today's live stream, if you don't understand what I'm referring to. But fear. I want, this is the type of obstacle. If fear is an element to what's going on with you, I want you to get these lessons, and if you've gotten past it, get the young people in your life on board with having an understanding of these things. At 20 years old, you can accomplish drastically different amounts because time is on your side when it comes to compound interest. So let's just read through this. I pulled some of these things as I was looking through my IG last night. So assuming a 10% rate of return, investing $500 a month starting at 30 years old, at 60, you would have $1 million. Same thing, $500 monthly starting at 25. I'm sorry. I said the wrong thing. At 30, you would then have $1 million. 25, you would have 1.7. If you start at 20 years old, you would have nearly $3 million. So the earlier you start, the more you're going to have. But those early years, though, the additional 10 years or however many, the earlier you start, the better, because we really need to realize the impact that you have. It's not as easy to catch up. If I could share another image while you still have me sharing, so I can I think this was a good one. At 20 years old, contributing $26 a week, which might be an amount that is manageable or reasonable to most people to hear. $26 a week. At age 65, I know that's a long time from age 20 to 65, but you will have $1 million. But if you were to wait until later on, let's look at age 40. At age 40, you need $190 a week to have basically the same exact outcome. At age 50, you need $580 a week. So this is what I wanted to bring to this conversation about fear. Let's get, if you are fearful of investing, I hope that you can get past it, because I want you as soon as possible. You can't just think, oh, I'll get to that when I'm 40. Looking at these numbers, you see how hard it is at 40, as opposed to just, even if you're working part-time, if you're just getting started in your career in your early 20s, make it a commitment and get it on a part, make it a part of your life investing then, because those small amounts then, or as much as you can contribute then, it's really going to help you in the long run. Because I think there's a lot of people that are waiting and until much later in life and saying, I need to catch up. I hear that a lot when it comes to retirement planning. I need to catch up. I need to max out my Roth, and it's not as easy. It's not going to be an easy task to catch up. So I love to see things like that, and just hopefully people know that it's accurate, that, we need to be mindful of it. And if you're in a good place, do it for your kids, your niece, your nephew, your grandkids, even a small amount. It's more than I had at 18, 21, whatever. A lot of us, I can't speak for you guys, but it was zero for me. There was no, and I was very unknowledgeable, even on, basic things like securing a loan for college and stuff like that. So any amount I would have been grateful for, but just handing that to them, not so much. You need to also be doing what I'm striving to do with my daughter, my younger daughter. I wasn't in the place to do it much with my older daughter, but instilling the information to support and for her to know how to handle this when it's turned over to her.
And Prez, pretty much based on the compound interest scenario and what Lisa shared, what's your thoughts on that?
I think it's awesome what Lisa is doing. And I would also encourage others to do the same. Like I was chatting with Lisa last week. I told her this year on my son's birthday, I will be opening up an account for him. He will be turning 9 years old. And because he's already interested in learning how to trade and how the charts move and all of that, he always asks me questions. He's always like in front of the screen when I'm like studying charts or things of that nature. So he's already interested in it. So why not start him out early?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Starting out young, if you have nieces, kids, grandkids, listen, don't say, well, I didn't have that growing up. Don't say that. You want to buy them the latest and greatest shoes and everything. And I understand you want to spoil your kids. There's nothing wrong with that. But how about spoiling your kids with something that can potentially change the future? Potentially. Now, Lisa, you shared something earlier. I think it was VOO or VTI. Was that the graphic that you had earlier on the was that earlier?
I think it was SPHD or SPHD. One of
There
those.
you go. There you go.
I didn't. What did you want? Oh, okay.
Which one was it, Prez?
I believe it was either SPHD or SCHD.
Okay. If you don't mind, Lisa, sharing that, because I want to show people something, just for a second.
Give me a second. I have to pull up that screen.
Okay.
What fund did you want to look at? That one that I had up?
It was it was Charles Schwab on there that I saw.
All right. It's back.
All right. If you can go to the 5-year chart, if you don't mind.
Okay.
And does it show you that? Well, I'm sure it does. What's the rate of return for the people who are not able to see that? What's the rate of return on 5 years?
50.05. And this is SCHD.
Okay. Now, mind you, we're not telling you that you should or shouldn't invest in these stocks. We're not financial advisors. We just want to show you something. Generally speaking, hey, by the way, what's up? Make this go viral. Hey, everybody in the chat. By the way, we say that, for instance, we don't have the resources. Okay. If I gave you $100, right, and you pay me back $150, I would probably take that math all day. What about you, Lisa? Would you take that math all day?
Sounds good to me.
Prez, would you take that all day? So pretty much, basically,
all day, all night, all week, all year.
Right. You like, oh man, they gave me. Oh, anytime you want to borrow money, come talk to me again.
Yeah.
Now, what was the 1 year rate of return, Lisa?
7.67.
7.67. Okay. So here's the thing. That's $7 and some change, right? Roughly. 10% of 100 is $10. So what I'm saying to you, most people, because we had this conversation the last time, don't even get a percentage on their interest on their checking or savings account. So what I'm saying is we have a situation, a scenario where fear, this is what we're talking about, fear can cost us by not doing the action. You know, a lot of this stuff, a great man said, what's going on, can't stop. A great man said, if you do not find a way to have your money work for you while you sleep, you're going to always work. I wonder who said that. Oh, that was Warren Buffett, wasn't it? I know who it was, but I'm just saying we have to understand, you know, that we can't be afraid of fear. We can't be afraid of it, because here's the thing. If I put my money in an account, there's a potential that account can close. Remember, we saw all these banks close here. What? It's not even been a year yet, has it? Has it? I don't think it has. It was just closing left and right? Man, I was like, man, this bank closed, this bank closed, that bank closed. You know, of course. Well, the FDIC. Go ahead.
Okay. No. I was like, let's not get people fearful of
No. I know. I'm not.
We only recommend banks that are insured. Yes, FDIC.
And that's what I was going to say. The FDIC could potential. You know, if everybody's rushing to get FDIC insurance, there's a potential. So we can't be afraid of what ifs. You know, what if, you know, it's a lot of things that can happen. What if, you know, however, what if you live to 100 years old? What if you live to 120? Are you going to still be able to do your job at 120? Probably not. Automation probably will take most people's jobs. Go ahead, Lisa. You was going to say something? I saw it.
No,
saw it in your eyes.
I didn't. But, you know, just to share on what you just said, I have a family member that unexpectedly had health issues at age 60 and has not been able to work since that age. And that was not their intended retirement age. But, you know, you don't know what to expect. So we need to be prepared. Because, you know, the whole point I'm just trying to make again is, you know, we have to invest for ourselves and save for ourselves. Disability, Social Security, these are the things that many people are not even in tune with what they will be receiving. And is it going to be enough? Most likely not. That's why I feel that we need to focus on investing and have something to supplement those things that are going to be coming from the government. Never mind the government over here trying to raise the retirement age from 67 to 70 to 72, or who knows where they want it to go.
196.
Yeah, you're over here talking about you know, I don't want to, I don't think anyone, I could be wrong. I don't know. Let me just speak for myself. I don't want to be working at 70 years old.
No.
So
Prez, and I'm going to ask everyone this question, because I can assure you let me say this, because I have family members who could potentially be watching this channel. I'm not coming at you. I'm not trying to put you down. I'm not trying to put anyone down. I'm saying this because we're having an honest conversation. Okay. Lisa just shared she had a family member who's working past retirement. I can say that I know family members who've worked past retirement. I'm sure, Prez, have you had, or do you know any family members who've worked past retirement?
Can I say something quickly?
Go ahead.
I was saying that my family member had to stop working at 60. So
had to stop working.
They stopped working before they
retirement.
Because they were ready to go to work. They, you know,
right,
for many more years, probably at least to the regular 67, 70-ish. They were ready to go to work, but can no longer do it. So
because
now
of challenges. I got you.
Yes. But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Prez.
I'm sorry, Prez.
Could you repeat your question again, please?
Do you know any family members who've had health challenges? I can say that too, and had stopped working, or who has potentially had to work past retirement age?
Of course.
And I can speak for myself. I'm not going to speak for anyone. I'm going to let them speak for themselves. It hurts me when I see it because you want to help certain family members. And it hurts because certain family members are prideful and they don't want help. How do you feel about that, Prez?
I think it's very unfortunate. And I think it's very unfortunate. And that's why I preach what I preach about, starting to invest and not procrastinating about it, and be diligent on actually learning what you're investing into instead of just throwing money at an investment thinking that it's going to increase over time, because you're not even understanding what you actually invested into. It doesn't take but maybe 30 minutes a day to watch a video. There's plenty of videos out here on social media, on YouTube for free, that will break down each one of these investments that you're into from someone who's providing decent value to you instead of just feeding you a bunch of hype.
That's so true. That's so true. And that's why we're actually here, everyone. And I'm sure if people are honest in the chat, you know someone who's in that situation. The whole point of us all being here is because of the love that we have and the passion that we have to help others get to the next level. Now, no, we're not financial or investment advisors. Let's get that out the way. Yes, we want to give you information so that you can take and do your own research and then make a move. But here's the problem. We just showed a situation where that chart was showing 5-year rate of return over 50%. Over 50%. Fear cost. You know, I remember sharing a story, and I'm gonna say it again, where there was a certain individual. I was at a job, and I'm trying to frame my words because I'm sure that certain people watch me, but they always wore a certain brand of shoes. And they came to me and said, "Hey, Rob, would you like to buy some shoes?" And I was like, "Sure. What are they? Let me know." Well, now before you say something, I know you. Before you say something, you're gonna be the first to have them before everybody gets them. I'm like, okay, but now just listen though. Hear me out. It's gonna be 2 weeks before everybody have them. You'll be the first, and they real. I said, okay, you doing all this preface. How much do they cost? Well, they're gonna be $500. I said, yeah, you definitely talking to the right and wrong person. I said, the reason why you're talking to the right and wrong person, I'm not gonna buy any $500 worth of shoes for one pair. But have you ever considered investing in Nike stock? At that time, Nike stock was $51 a share. Now, hey Lisa, would you mind pulling up Nike stock when you get a chance?
Do you know the ticker on it?
NKE. N as in Nancy, K as in King, E as in Echo. But Nike stock is doing what right now? I know what it's doing, but I just want to show y'all. Now, remember, when I told this individual, this is past 5 years, when I told this individual, Nike was well over 51. I know where it is now, but I'm going to go ahead and show you where Nike is right now. Nike is $99.16. But if you look, there's a peak where Nike went up, and it was past 100 and something odd dollars. Am I correct, Lisa, with my talking about this stock?
I see. This is
136.
This is 171 back in 2021. 177. Yeah, I think that's what's the high. The high year range is between 88 and 128.
Wow. So this individual, years later, saw me and we talked. I said, well, I told them, I said, why don't you just put $500, because they buy every shoe that comes out. Every single shoe. They might buy 2 or 3 shoes. So why don't you just not buy one pair of shoes at the $500 rate or whatever. Take $500 and just invest in Nike stock, because that athlete is actually under the Nike umbrella. So you're going to continue to grow. Now, I'm sure that everyone in the chat may be a sneakerhead, or even people on the panel may be sneakerheads. I don't know. I'm not throwing no shade, but do we know people who, and Nike don't come for me. If you want to send me some free shoes, I'll wear them. Hey, but do we know people who prioritize certain shoes more than anything? What would you say, Prez?
Of course, like friends, coworkers. I know a lot of people that are sneakerheads. They always have the latest Foam Posits or Air Force Ones, or Jordans for that matter. When all you can do is cut back on that, and not financial advice, but if you're that much of a sneakerhead, just own some of the company. Might as well. Might as well.
What's your thoughts about that, Lisa?
Oh, I agree with you. I've used a scenario regarding Apple many times. 10% of my daughter's portfolio is in Apple stock. So she has an iPhone. We use products around this house, iPad, MacBook. So, but in addition to that, yeah, she's gonna, even if it's, I don't care what it is, $5, $2.50, there's going to be a little bit in the budget in this week's budget. There's going to be some Apple stock. So, and I know I don't invest as heavily. I'm the one who is a little more advanced in age, and she's going to have to work on building up her investments when she gets older. But every little thing that we do, just going to get some takeout food, and I'm going to put maybe not equal amounts, but a little bit of money is going to go towards investments regularly. And I proudly invest even small amounts. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Lisa, you had some more slides. If you don't mind, it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was the one after the one we just shown, and then it was, well, the next couple slides.
Okay,
You don't mind
so
sharing those?
I don't think we looked at this one yet. So this is kind of did we look at this one, Prez? Do you recall? I don't think we did. So all of these are scenarios aiming to get to $500,000. So, which may not be your goal, but whatever your goal is, at age 40, that's 25 years till 25 years of growth at $100 a week, you can accomplish the goal of about the $500,000 mark. At age 45, 20 years later, you could be at that goal. At age 50, and that's contributing an additional $175 a week. By age 50, you're then going to have to contribute $315 weekly to have 15 years to grow to $500,000, about $500,000 mark. So just another scenario on waiting until a little bit later in life and what you'll have to do in order to quote unquote catch up. I hear people saying that, and it's not going to be as easy as you think. It's not like you just gonna the percentage of the weekly or monthly contribution that you need to make in order to catch up is probably not going to be attainable along with your other bills and expenses. So just another form of another visual to give you encouragement to start early and to encourage people around you to start as early as possible, I would say.
Yeah. So, and I'm glad you're showing this, because some people are on the upper end of the 30 and above, and they may think that, oh, it's over. I don't know if I can do that amount per week, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not showing it to discourage. I'm showing it to say, do what you can, and at the same time, like I said, the younger people, let's try to give them the encouragement to to get started early as soon as they're working. For my
Facts.
daughter, she's not working. I'm funding I'm the investor right now. But as soon as possible. Even the little ones, they have a social security number. They can have a UTMA account. Prez's son is in his single digit age, and he's about to get started with his investment account. Yes.
And
And to
exactly.
piggyback off of all of that, I would like to add, that's where when I commented earlier about you would want to create other streams of income, like passive income streams, like a side hustle or a second job if you're able to pick up a second part-time job, because you're going to see those numbers to where as though, and you have in your mind that you want to catch up, this is how you do it. Or you can learn how to trade responsibly. I'm going to say that again, learn how to trade responsibly. Don't just go in there thinking, I'm going to throw $500 in there today and it's going to turn into 1,000 because you saw somebody post their numbers up on their stock market winnings on the screen. It's not that simple, but it's not that complicated at the same time.
Yes. It's not
And
that complicated. Don't think you can't do it. And you don't have to pick individual stocks. Remember, there are options. There are different options and different methods. Conservative, depending on your age, but find something that works for you.
Most definitely. Most definitely. And if you're looking at anything, you have to figure out what type of investor you are. If you want to take a little bit more risk, you may say, let me invest in these type of things. But the great thing about ETFs is the homework is already done for you. You got to do some homework now. But what I mean by that is you're not researching 10 individual stocks. You say, okay, look, this particular thing has a track record. VOO, VTI, SPAs, they have track records of being successful. So because of those track records and trajectories, you can look at the 1-5 year mark and say, okay, look, let me see which ETF I want to go with. From there, do I want to invest in some actual individual stocks? So I have a lot of individual stocks that may overlap with some of the ETFs, which is like Apple. We discussed Apple. It overlaps, but I still like Apple. I'm still going to buy Apple shares as well as having it in some of the ETFs. Hey, Lisa, if you don't mind, could you pull up Apple stock?
Apple.
Because you're talking about it earlier, talking about your daughter having Apple.
I see Daryl commented that he's doing $5 a day VTI every Friday for his son weekly.
Congrats.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. That is awesome.
Oh yeah. And I don't know, at one point everyone's been here, but we discussed, listen, if you have kids, grandkids, cousin them, sister, brother, uncles, whatever the case may be, and you care about them and you want them to succeed in life, you want them to have a leg up from where you started. You see this comment right here? You heard what Prez said, you heard what Lisa said, you and I'm trying to frame my words because everybody's budget is different. But I literally just went to I'm not going to say the name of the restaurant, fast food place, and we spend $15 to $20 on a meal quickly. I had to eat something before I got on. And and sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's hot. But if you go to Chick-fil-A, it's always hot. I just wanted to throw that up there. But anyway, I want no shade for Chick-fil-A. We don't want no smoke Chick-fil-A. But y'all others got to get in line and get okay. But, Prez, let me ask you a question. Daniel said, same here. Any recommendations for books for investing? Prez, you got any recommendations?
Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki.
That's a good one. What about you, Lisa?
I don't have any book recommendations, actually. I'm not, to tell you the truth, I listen to books. I listen to audiobooks on Audible. But I really don't most of my stock and investing knowledge has not come from book research.
I understand.
YouTube University, y'all. YouTube University. The information is basically free. You have a slew of content creators out here where you can listen to it, do a video actually while you're driving. You can put an earbud, sneak an earbud in while you're at work if you can, or in your leisure time, cut out some of the entertainment and add more education.
Okay. Why not? Daniel shared Trading in the Zone as a book recommendation, but I'm sorry, I don't have one for you.
There's a book I would suggest people to look at. It may be for you, it may not be. What it's called, The Richest Man in Babylon. Check it out. It has some tips, some principles that you can go by. You may or may not like it, but that's a good book in my opinion. The Richest Man in Babylon. There's a lot of other books that I listen to, like you said, Audible. I probably have at least 60 books on investing. However, if you're new to investing, you got to start out with something that is bite-sized. Richest Man in Babylon, you can listen to or read it in a day. Very simple, or 2 days maybe. Very simple, very easy. It's very self-explanatory. But before I go on, thank you so much for the super sticker, Cooking and Vibe with Anne-Marie. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
Can I
Go
say
ahead. I'm
one
sorry,
thing?
Lisa.
And why not? I know I saw in your comments earlier that we're in a Discord together. There is a Book Nook tab there, so there are book recommendations that you can check out over there. That's all.
Most definitely. Now, Prez, tell us about your channel. Tell us a little bit about your channel.
Okay, my channel is I started a brand new portfolio, and I'm investing $5 a day, 5 days a week, including on if the holiday falls on a weekday, I do a makeup day, and I'm basically showing investors in real time, well, potential investors in real time, exactly how it looks with consistency and diversification, and how I'm actually structuring my portfolio. And eventually I will get more into deeper dives on individual companies that I'm invested into. I plan to just start doing like a watch list Wednesday, companies I'm looking at, and where I would actually allocate it if I were to add it to a portfolio.
Hey, Lisa, tell us a little bit about your channel.
Well, I started my channel a little over a year ago, and my focus is just strictly saving, investing, building wealth, just having a different money mindset than just sharing my journey. Some people always say, like, why did I start my channel? Like, what got you into this? And really, it's just like a lot of other YouTubers that are doing other genres. Um, I'm just turning on the camera and sharing it. But this is what I've been doing for years prior to, the last year when I started this channel. So just trying to improve the financial outlook for myself and for my family, and just sharing my journey in that.
Wonderful,
my goal
wonderful.
is to inspire others to at least get started. If you're not already started, at least get started. And to the ones that are started, follow along in my journey. You can get to know my actual thought process in real time.
And you know what, anyone I bring on my channel, just know, first of all, there's a lot of people who are in the realm of doing the same thing who are gatekeepers. I'm just going to just keep it real. They're gatekeepers. They don't want anyone else to get above them or anyone else to know what, hey, they're gatekeepers. Never see anybody on their channel. They always want to make sure that they hold information. No shade to anyone who's not. No shade if that wasn't your thing. I haven't experienced that, but I just can tell by some things. One thing I need to let you know is anyone that's, first of all, on my channel, I want to see everyone succeed, number one. Number two, anyone that's on this channel, look, they know what they're talking about. They're not just, throwing up, when LeBron do like this. If you don't know, LeBron puts chalk in his hands, do like this, and throw it up in the air. They're not just throwing smoke in the air, just talking. These people, they know what they're talking about. Number one, but the first thing is they're passionate about what they're doing to help others. The whole point every time I talk is to make sure that I'm making sure that people are put in a position where they can win. Prez, Lisa are both passionate about making sure people can win. I'm passionate about making sure people can win. That's just the bottom line. I want to make sure that everyone wins no matter what. And that's why they're on the channel. That's why, it's like, Prez, Lisa, like I've known them for years, but I haven't, I personally feel comfortable with them and talking with them because they're genuine people. There's some people who are not genuine people. Let me help you to understand that. But the key is this: anytime someone is giving you any information, it costs them something. It costs them something. I can tell you the information I'm given cost me something. What do I mean by that? It cost me some negative accounts that I had to figure out, oh my goodness, I don't need to do this no more. It cost me some sleepless nights, and it cost me reading and studying to make sure I know what the heck I'm talking about. And I'm sure, what do you think about that, Prez? What would you agree or disagree on?
I want to add in belly aches, fear missing out. What else can I add to that one? It's a lot. It's a lot to add that I can add to that one. But yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. Like, I've had my share of bad experiences, and I will also be sharing some of those as well, so people would know what not to do based off of my example. Because I sure didn't have nobody showing me, like holding my hand, showing me, oh, don't put your money in that. The only thing I heard was, if you would have put this amount in this, then in 5 years it would have been this, or next week it would be that. Instead of showing somebody showing me in real time without me actually having to pay them to show me.
What's your thoughts, Lisa?
Robert, I don't know. I think that we just need to just stay focused, So I just, I don't know. I don't know, Robert. Give me a more, I'm feeling a little, give me some more direction on what you want me to share.
Okay, I'm saying, what are your thoughts about pretty much anything? What are your thoughts about the topic of conversation? Let's go back to that one. What are your thoughts? I know
Well, listen, I do. Okay, so I'm not just here to show the good. When it comes to my channel, I want to show you the mistakes that I've made. I think that when I've only, like I said, I've only had my channel a little over a year. And some of the mistakes, they didn't occur. I really haven't made any mistakes recently, but I made a lot when I got started. I was not getting into my investments with a plan. Earlier on, we were talking about, I said from the beginning, procrastination, uncertainty. Prez was touching on, trading and investing. There may be people in the chat that might feel like they need to do some more extreme things because they're a little older, they need to catch up. If you're going to do that, take the time to learn. I have taken my time. I have made my mistakes. And now I think I'm in a more solid place. And if I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to jump into a certain trade or take on too much risk because I did that before. I've done that already. If I get into, as soon as if something is a trade, I know going in, it's a trade. And as soon as I get into it, seconds later, I am putting my stop loss on. I am deciding what amount, if this does go in a direction that I was not anticipating, what is the maximum loss that I am willing to take? And then from there, I'm watching it. And like Prez was saying earlier on in the show, you shared about, something that you could have gotten more, you could have taken profit and gotten out of sooner, but you had a greed mentality in this particular trade that you were in. I think I'm past all of that. I try to take the emotion out of it and do things in a conservative way, but still in a way that makes me, money. But I work during the day. I never know. Someone might call, need a meeting. My mother might call. I might be out doing something at the time when I needed to be babysitting my trade. And if I know I can't babysit that trade, that's why I have to have a stop loss set, in my trading account, in my brokerage account, in order to take care of it for me. It's 2024. We have these things accessible to us. So if I want to, even if it's something as simple as I want to buy a particular stock at a particular price, I can set that in my app to do it for me. If we just looked at, Apple's $170, if I want to put in an order that says if Apple is to drop down to, say, $163, buy me 5 shares, I can do that. Or same difference. If I get into, I buy some Riot stock or some Pepe coin, or I want to dabble in something like that, I can, mitigate the risk of how much money I'm willing to lose by doing my calculations ahead of time, by having my whole plan start to finish when I get into it. And I've made these mistakes. And not just, and it's not just about options or trading, because I want you to be investors. You may not ever want to even dabble into trading. 2 totally different things. I want that to be clear too. But even in my investing, there's a couple of things. I think this might have been for tomorrow's show, but uh, there's a couple of things that, in retrospect, I could have left alone. I could have just stuck with more of my index funds, or I could have just went and bought Microsoft or some more, top 10 Fortune 500 companies, as opposed to dabbling in some of the smaller, more speculative things. But I'm thankful that I didn't go heavily into those type of things. My portfolio is being held up by the more mainstream responsible choices that I made. My portfolio was over 50% Apple, which I shouldn't have let that occur. But, it worked. That one particular thing worked out well for me. But uh, I have shared on this channel, Prez thinks that I love Disney, but I did make a couple of videos about Disney because it was something that's been struggling in my portfolio. So I was really, interested in hearing the news and seeing what strides they were making. And that is something that is red in my portfolio, but I share that through what I've been creating. I don't hide the bad things, I shared that I've behind. I wish that I would have made my daughter's account sooner, but I didn't have the confidence, and I wasn't knowledgeable. And I guess that is something that I had fear of when we went into, our lockdown situation a few years ago. I was kind of like, ooh, could I get laid off? I was holding on to cash. I was holding on to a lot more cash than I wish I did. I wish I would have invested heavily. But, even with that, I've shared things that I made bad choices in, like JetBlue. I cut that completely out of my portfolio. So I've made my mistakes, and I'm definitely willing to share the good and the bad with you, whether it's something that happened in the past or something that happens now, because I want us to be able to learn from it. And if you can learn from my mistake, I'm glad for that opportunity for you to learn from what I've been through. If you're willing to listen, I'm willing to share.
And most definitely, someone just made a comment, and it's probably a few moments ago. But hey, Prez, any thoughts on Tesla long term? Why not? What's your thoughts on it?
Um, to answer that question, ask yourself: is there any time you go outside and you can not see a Tesla? I mean, need I say more? And to piggyback off of what we were just speaking on, I have a saying that I made up myself. Trading is like dating, and investing is like a marriage. It's really that simple.
Tesla is a marriage. Tesla is long term for you.
I was trying to
Of
unmute it.
course,
Say it's
of
yeah,
course.
Tesla
Okay.
definitely is a
I,
long
I, I
term.
just I just want to make sure it's clear to everyone in the
I
chat
could
that
I
Prez
couldn't get
was
mute enough. I was like, whoa, let me unmute it.
To be totally honest, it's actually both. For me, it's both.
you traded
Because
and
in
you.
one account I hold it long term, and in
Mhm.
another account I may decide I want to trade it because of the way it moves up and down, the volatility of it. I want to capture some of that. And
Mhm.
then I may decide to take some of that profit and add it to my long-term Tesla position.
Yeah. Tesla is I would say the most volatile of my growth portfolio, but I'm holding it also. And I even talked to my daughter about that because only 5%, but she has Tesla in her portfolio also. And I was asking her, how do you feel? Because at the beginning of the year, her Tesla was up 32%. I think this week, Monday night, when we were having our little meeting, her Tesla was down like 1%. It was red, the only red thing in her portfolio, and I said, "How do you feel about that?" And it didn't phase her, and I love that it didn't, because she understands, and she sees why it's 5%, and she sees the growth on the larger positions and realizes, that's why mommy did it this way.
And you know what? I've told people for years, personally speaking. I remember I test drove a Tesla when they first came. Um, and when I was talking to the sales rep, I said, you might want to buy the stock. Now, this is not investment advice, peoples, but what I'm saying is this was before any splits or anything like that. You have to understand that over time, things change. You know, uh, I saw a post somebody posted on YouTube was talking about the housing prices from like a certain era, and it was like $8,000 or $9,000. Well, of course, we're not going to get into deep detail about those things because I can get into that, but that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But what I'm saying is, as things increase, certain things increase. Now, the cost of a Tesla may decrease. However, the amount of people who have that Tesla will possibly increase, in my opinion. Okay. Hey, Prez, if you don't mind reading that, please, sir.
Says, you know what? The comment you said, in one account I trade and the other I hold. Thanks for the clarity because I've been doing both in the same account and it can confuse you on what you should do. Yeah, it's like I have different accounts because it's like putting money in different pockets. Like one pocket, I just may want to let the money accumulate. The other pocket, I may want to play around with a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, go back to the comment. Trading is like dating, and investing is like a marriage. So I have one account for trading, another account for investing. Now, in the investing account, I may hear bad news about Tesla, but like I said, I can't go outside and not see a Tesla. So I believe in the company. Like, never mind what the bad news is. Just think about who controls the media. The ones that control the media could be possibly putting this bad info out on this company that you believe in to get you to sell so they can buy it from you at a lower price. Now, you done lost money on an investment, the merit side, instead of just trading it in the dating portfolio, like I like to say.
And I'm glad you said something about that.
Someone is reporting an echo. Do we need to be muting? I don't know. Is there a problem?
Somebody's reporting. Is there echo? Do you hear echo on whose side?
I
His
haven't been
computer.
hearing. I haven't been hearing
Yeah, I
anything.
haven't heard it echo or anything like that. I haven't heard it on my side. Anybody heard an echo? I haven't heard echo. Um, but I was going to say that why not? What not? Said something. Oh, maybe me. Okay, I haven't heard anything. Oh, so okay, okay, no echo. Okay, so I don't see an echo. All right,
Mhm.
so I'm trying to
I do
what?
want to address Chocolate Drop's question when we have a second.
Go ahead. Which I'm trying to look for her question. Okay, boom. That's what I was looking for. I thought it was why not? That's why I was like, I just saw a question.
Let me first give a recap because in a live with Prez and I had Chocolate Drop shared that she has 2 investments, and they are Apple and Amazon. And this week in the chat earlier today, she shared that she's since added NVIDIA, I believe. So as far as I know, that is her entire portfolio, those 3 things. And her question is, what's your favorite company to invest in and why? And I did ask her um, in the chat today if she's looked at any ETFs or index funds. And she said she has not done her research on those yet. So that's the question. Do you want to start off with the question, guys?
Go ahead, Press.
Favorite companies. I don't know if anybody has actually seen any of my videos, but my portfolio on that I'm sharing with my channel is structured basically like a pyramid, the way it's allocated. And my favorite companies are basically the second level and the third level of that pyramid structure. Things like your Apple, your Microsoft, your NVIDIA, your Tesla, your Alphabet, things of that nature. Those are like my favorite companies. And why? Because I basically use them in one way or another. I use them, and instead of being just a consumer, I like to be a owner of these companies that I'm using.
Lisa, what's your favorite companies?
I would say my individual companies that are the largest positions in my portfolio are right now Apple, Amazon, and Google in my growth portfolio. Excuse me. So chocolate drop, I'm sorry. Yes, chocolate drop. You're fast with sometimes you're really fast with putting the stuff up and taking it down, Robert. Thanks for letting this linger for a second. Yes, chocolate drop is asking about VOO. So VOO is definitely an ETF that I am trying to increase. I have increased to be a level 1 as Prez was saying, the foundation of my portfolio, which is an S&P 500 index fund, ETF, exchange traded funds. I also invest into FXAIX, which is a Fidelity index fund, same thing, S&P 500. So, I think that that's something that I don't know what we can share in addition. I have done a video about comparing the two depending on where you're investing at. There should be a low expense ratio um, option to invest into the S&P 500, and I think both Prez and I agree that that, as well as a total index fund like a VTI, are things that can give you your, may not have the growth of the individual stocks, but you can, if you make that a part of your portfolio, you will have long-term steady growth and stability in what you're, as an investment choice, because I think it's a way that we've chosen and are sharing on how we think you can have stability in your portfolio as well as growth without, you have to decide on what you want to do as far as if you want to do maybe 60% to 80% and something like that, and then mix in those individual stocks. I don't know how you personally build portfolios, Robert, but I know Prez and I have shared and had discussions, had a live on portfolio building. So I think what I'm describing covers how we feel. So you can let her know what your thoughts are about S&P 500 investment choices and what percentage of a portfolio it could be. And as I said, her investments are right now, as far as I know, Apple, Amazon, and NVIDIA.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I always have to preface this because there's always one person that asks this. This is not financial or investment advice, okay? Just make this clear. Going into it, as it relates to anything, everyone, and the reason why I personally don't necessarily say, oh, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, is because everyone has a different age range and an age and a time horizon for their investing. Based on my analytics, I have 18-year-olds and I have over 65-year-olds watching my channel. So you have to ask yourself, number one, I know Chocolate Drop is not, over 65, by the way. But, everyone's things are different. However, in my opinion, every investor should have at least 1 to 2 ETFs in their account. Now, we talked about VOO. Lisa, if you don't mind pulling up this holdings, I know it's Berkshire Hathaway, Microsoft, the top 9 holdings, probably Tesla, probably Amazon, probably Alphabet, probably the top 9 holdings. But the reason I'm saying that is because I said earlier that a lot of my stuff overlap. I like Apple. People talked about Tesla. You said something about NVIDIA. And let me go ahead and share.
I didn't get there yet.
Sorry. I apologize. But what I do, I invest as it relates to long-term investors. So I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have some just in case, and I call it the foundation. Just in case you do something crazy, you got a foundation to stand on, which is those ETFs. Just in case I want to invest it all and Robert coin. Y'all like, okay, now we haven't heard about Robert coin yet, and it's not a coin, by the way. Hey, I want to do this. Just in case you just want to throw a Hail Mary somewhere, you got to have a foundation. Are you there, Lisa?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So if you can read that, because my screen is very small on that end.
All right. So we have Microsoft, Apple, NVIDIA, Amazon, Meta, which is Facebook. Then we have Alphabet. We have 2 Alphabet classes, which is Google. We have Berkshire Hathaway, Eli Lilly, and Broadcom.
Wonderful. Now, somebody asked me at one point about Berkshire Hathaway, and I told you all that I have Class A and B shares. As it relates to if I have full shares, I'm not going to disclose that on Class A. I'm not disclosing that. You can invest in Berkshire Hathaway as it relates to not a whole share, called fractional shares, tiny bits and pieces. I look at things like this. Prez talked about Tesla, earlier, and Lisa talked about Apple, and we talked about Microsoft and NVIDIA and things of that nature that was in the chat. I'll ask myself this question: who is the most popular? Think about it like this. Let me remove this real quick. Think about it as a popularity contest, right? Or everyone was in high school at one point, right? And they had the East Executive Council. Somebody's running for the executive council or prom king and queen. Generally speaking, those things are based on popularity. Would y'all agree or disagree? Prez and Lisa?
Yeah, the unpopular kids are not going to be voted king and queen. I agree.
Right. I haven't seen it. Have you seen it, Prez?
No, never.
I haven't seen it. So that means, and I use this analogy as, investing in fidget spinners might have been good at the time, but the fidget spinners could be a, don't come for me Blockbuster, but Blockbuster is a fidget spinner. It was a good company then, but now it's not a good company. And on my wall, I have vision boards, and I have a lot of panel on my wall, so that's why I'm looking. Blockbuster, Kmart is a fidget spinner, right? So if you invested in Kmart, it sounded good then, but certain companies took over that. So what I do is, it's a popularity contest. Who's making the most money? Who's gonna get my vote based on net in? Who's making the most money? What are they popular in the market? I know for a fact. I can look, and everybody out of 10 people, at least 6 people are gonna have an Apple phone. So I think Apple's not a fidget spinner. And fidget spinners don't come for us, come for me, hey, but it's not a fidget spinner. It's not a fad. It's not something that's going to go out of style. Somebody says Apple and Microsoft are most popular. Exactly. So you got Microsoft. A lot of people don't know Microsoft is big on cloud. So the StreamYard app that we're using right now is pretty much over the cloud in a sense. So there's a lot of as things go on with Bitcoin and things of that nature, and Ethereum, and you have more people on these virtual wallets and things of that nature, cloud services and cloud computing, and actually information like NVIDIA, those chips. Oh man, that's funny that you should say that. I literally just said something. NVIDIA new kit.
I wanted to say a little bit more about NVIDIA because, Chocolate Drop shared that I think it's a newer addition to her portfolio. I think it's currently overvalued. And I think that's where you have to put, you have to be knowledgeable in your investing. Whereas I don't want to say it's completely set it and forget it, but in the ETFs, you're giving yourself diversification. As I shared, NVIDIA is number 3. So when you invest into VOO, which she asked about, you're going to be getting, you put $100 into VOO, you're getting 4.7%. Whatever amount you're investing here, you're getting 7% Microsoft, 6% Apple, 4% NVIDIA. So it's a way to get exposure to this, but if you're not ready to take the time to do the research, you may be buying particular individual stocks that might not be at the best price. That's another thing that, in time I've been able to get more in tune with as when I want to go, more heavily into my individual stocks. When is my buy price? My growth portfolio, those I'm holding long term. I'm willing to deal with the fluctuations, like with my Tesla, even if it's a 30 or 20% movement. Apple, I'm not gonna sell my Apple stock because it drops 8%. That's a long-term hold for me, but I also know at what I've been out buying Apple stock for several years now. So my average is probably still below $130 or so, around there. But, I don't want you I want you to, when it comes to something like NVIDIA, I think you maybe need to take your time, do a little research, and know when is going to be when you want to focus on really buying and building up your position. Because it is a kind of really, it trended up to $1,000. I think, was that just yesterday, Prez?
Almost. It was 9 and some change. It was almost 1,000.
So, I don't know what days and what price points you're deciding to invest into it at, but I think that's a particular investment choice, individual stock, that I think that takes a little bit more research. I don't want you to jump in at a high price point. I would like, if there is any pullback, I would like for her to take an opportunity to build out that position a little lower. But as Robert says, not financial advice. It's just I just wanted to share that, whether it's NVIDIA or other individual stocks, take your time and put a little more effort into your research and planning behind it, whether it's an investment or a trade. I think both things need to have a little bit of attention, more so than if you're just going to say, I'm buying into an ETF to hold for the next 25 years. I think that's a pretty easy decision to make.
Mm-hmm.
But there are things that take a little bit more research and effort, or you should put a little bit more research and effort into in making your decisions.
If you did just get into NVIDIA, if anybody out there did just get into NVIDIA, I also agree it is a bit expensive right now. It's a bit overvalued, but just be prepared for it to pull back 50% or so, or maybe a little more to come down to fair value. Don't be quick to sell low because you failed to do the research on NVIDIA, who NVIDIA actually is as a company. Me personally, I believe in NVIDIA as a company. So the entry price that I have on my brand new portfolio is about $675 average. I'm okay with that. I'm okay for it to come down to $300 or so. And I'll be waiting to dollar cost average on the way down and possibly pick up a little extra if it does come down that low. It's just something that you want to keep in mind if you got into something like NVIDIA and it's overvalued. Because at the end of the day, it's still a good company. It's just right now it's a bit overvalued. So be prepared for that decrease in the share price.
Mm-hmm.
And personally, I think, it's a lot of stocks overvalued. As it relates to the market, we got to understand it's like think about going to the beach. If you haven't gone to the beach before, because we have people all over the world watching us. So, you got waves that come in, waves that go out. You got high tide and low tide. There's different time horizons. But when you have a balanced portfolio, you are having things that can be okay in a recession. You're having things that can be okay in a tech boom. You're having things that'll be okay in any type of scenario that may happen. I'm not going to say the W word and it ends with an R. It's 3 letters. I'm not going to say that. But in those types of scenarios, you got to have certain things that if this happens, my portfolio is going to be okay. And you have to know, okay, for individual stocks, okay, that's why I said the base foundation, as you say, is a ETF. But for individuals, you got to say, you know what? Here's my top things, and I believe in this company no matter what. She's saying, okay, let me. Lisa, that's great advice.
Sorry, guys. I'll be right back.
Oh, no, you're fine. Lisa, that's great advice about when you may want to go heavy on a stock. I'm going to NDA lightly now. Heavier pullback. Chocolate drops up. Why not? Yes, same for me. Okay, cool. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm doing like this because I got lights here. I need to change. I got key lights. And sometimes when I'm reading the screen, I'm squinting. And no, I don't need glasses. It's just I got to change the way my key lights are. But Lisa and Prez is going live tomorrow. I'll probably go live tomorrow as well. Tell us a little bit more about your live and what time you're going live, Lisa and Prez.
We're going live 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've been doing that for the last few Sundays, and
3 weeks in a row.
Yes, so look out for us on Sunday afternoons, following Miss V's live. She usually goes live at 2:00. We'll be on at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and this week's topic is a surprise topic. So,
surprise!
But I'm sure that you will enjoy it.
Tell us a little bit more about that as well. Elaborate a little bit more, Prez.
It's basically a surprise. What we're going to talk about is.
You see, I tried to get you that. See, I tried to get you to say, "Hey, what?"
If I tell you anymore, it wouldn't be a surprise.
Exactly. I tried to get you on that one. You're like, no. Trying to be silly. Try. And
so,
go ahead. I'm sorry, Lisa.
We've been co-hosting the show for the last few weeks together, but Prez has been the person to pick the topic, so he's I didn't want to put him on the spot. I did that the week before. So this time when we ended the show, I was like, let's just let them wait. They'll find out when they get there next time around. So
Let them wait.
yes, yes. So we're just being a little silly, but yeah, you're getting surprise topic tomorrow afternoon. Come and check it out. It'll be good. As always.
I like the surprise topic concept. It gives you more inclined to tune in.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Speaking of that, make this go viral. Her and Educated and been pushing us to do better as it relates to going live. And that's why I'm pausing. I've seen everybody going live. It's forcing me to make sure that I go live as well. And the reason why I'm saying that is because everyone is pushing everyone. If you look at a lion and the way they travel in packs, the lead lion is in certain places, and then you have different places that certain lions are in. And the reason why they do that is because they want to make sure the whole pack stays together. They know there's people that can speed out and young lions, and they know that there's older lions, and they know there's people who, like, I'm trying to get my feet wet. I'm trying to get in here, and I want to thank Lisa, and Prez. I'm pausing, y'all. So it's a long story.
Wait, Robert. Let me put you on the spot too, like I usually do. Like I usually do the Prez. Okay, so last February, second Saturday, we were live together, you and I, and we got it going again this month. Are we doing second Saturday again?
Yeah, we can put each other on the spot. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, and that's why I'm just like, oh boy,
Or when can our audience find us together again? Robert, let us know.
That is a good question. I got to check my calendar, and I'm sure it's a yes, but I do have to check my calendar. But I will say this. I am going live tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the reason why is because I'm forcing myself to go live more. Lisa's been putting out great content. Prez the Investor has been putting out great content. I'm forcing myself to go live more. Everyone on here, this panel, we all got a lot going on in our daily lives. However, I consider them the lead of the pack. I'm a little older and seasoned. I consider them leading the pack. I'm like I'm not old, but I'm the more seasoned person that's just like, okay, I guess I'll get up now. I guess I'll go live now. Like, I'm trying my best. Like, I did the vertical live, y'all.
Man, you sound like me.
I'm trying. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. And I'm gonna be honest with you all, and I shared this behind stage. People may think they may not agree with it because certain they're like, hey, I don't believe it. But I really have to force myself to go live. I really don't like doing live because when you do a video, you can edit the ums and the oobs and me drinking, out of my cup and the pause. You can edit all that stuff out. It's like a perfect, ballet. You can make it perfect, but when you do live, you are forced to you're forced. And I'm not saying no one forces us. I'm just saying me. It's like, when I was younger, I was more talkative. Now that I've gotten a little older, I'm like, I would say I'm talkative.
Well, you did a great job, especially with that Bitcoin one that you did about a week ago. Great job.
I appreciate it. And y'all been doing wonderful. And speaking of Bitcoin, we're not saying you should or shouldn't buy, but we are saying that fear can cost you. That's all I'm gonna say on that one. It might cost you. It might cost you. It might cost you. Lisa, speaking of cost, now before we go on, does anyone on the panel have anything to do? Because y'all know I can go on for 18 hours and it'd be like 20:56. Yes, and I'm just making sure. Anybody got anything to do?
No.
And I'm not trying to put y'all on the spot, by the way. I'm just making sure I'm not overstepping my.
No, I'm good. I'm good, okay. Robert. You don't have to rush yourself.
Okay. Bitcoin. Would you mind, Lisa, pulling up Bitcoin chart and Anything that we share on the channel, we're not saying you should or shouldn't do it. Not financial advice. However, you might want to take a look at this, and not saying put all your eggs in this basket, but you might want to take a look at it.
What range do you want it on?
We can go with let's go with the day range. Then we'll break it down from the day to the, okay. I mean, because I already know the 8 hour, the day, the 5 day. We'll break it going up with it. Okay. Bitcoin right now is 68,000. You see how quick it changed? $507.50. It changed. I was going to say 382. It changed that quick. Bitcoin fluctuates. 68,392.40. And it keeps fluctuating. Would you mind going to the what percentage is it up today? 0.32?
Yes.
Okay. Prez. Now I know the answer to this, and I know you know the answer to this, and I know Lisa knows the answer to this. However, what is the general percentage that people get in their checking or savings account? Generally, if they don't know, what do you think it is? Generally,
0.03%, I believe.
Yeah, is that more than that? That's more. That's way more. Number more? That's way more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had some charts and stuff that I just didn't put in here. But do you know it'd take you over 1,000 years, 10 centuries to double your money? 10 centuries. Now, Lisa, I know you are about 20, but do you think you can live 10 centuries long?
Yeah. No, Robert. I don't want to tell my age, but I am old. Very old.
Hey, Prez, do you think you can live 10 centuries long?
No way.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. As much as I'm energetic and things of that nature, a century is 100 years. Am I right? I mean, I know I'm right, but am I right? It's 100 years, right? So 1,000 years, man, that's a long time. That's a long time. I would want to and mentally to live that long, but I just don't think. And I don't want this to be a graphic, dark situation. What I'm saying is, if you're just saving your money to double your money, it's going to take almost 100 years to get $1 to turn to $2. And your grandkids, great grandkids, 100 generations down the road can probably get that piece of bubble gum that they were waiting for. However, Lisa, if you don't mind going to the 1 week for me, please. And what is that for the 1 week?
You know what? I don't think this chart shows that way.
Okay.
It didn't really change much. I think I would need to go on
5 days.
I think I would need to use a different Yahoo Finance or something different. I don't think
Gotcha.
Yeah, because it's not
cool. So the 1 month on Bitcoin, I'm going to say it was over 45%. Over 45% on the 1 month. All right. Over 45% on the 1 month.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing 45.41% on the month.
Right. And here's the question, y'all. Yeah, I know Stock Explorer. Yes, but that's a whole nother subject. But over 45%. You're right.
We got a degen in the chat.
Hey, oh boy, that's all I'm gonna say on that one. All right, what is it? 6 months, Lisa? Does it show that on there?
Oh yeah, 164. Yeah, maybe the 5 day and the 1 day were just so close that I didn't think it was updated
no, you're
properly.
Fine. You're fine.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. And over 164.53, 164%. Let's go to the year to date. So if you had it for over a year to date?
No, you want 1 year or year to date?
Yeah, I'm sorry, 1 year.
1 year.
239%.
Our topic of the day was fear can cost you. Well, that was the topic, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, there's a lot of people who've been fearful from Bitcoin. And I'm not saying that you should invest all your money in Bitcoin. Do not do that. Do not jump in a pool with no water in it head first. Don't do that. What I'm saying is, it's okay. $5, $10, something that, that it's not going to hurt you. What do you think about that, Prez? What's your thought?
What I think about that, if I'm gonna use my my channel model, for example. On my channel, I'm investing $5 a day into stocks. Now, if I were to scale that to Bitcoin, it would be $5 a week.
Lisa?
I mean, that's as simple as I can really put it. You don't want to put too much into it, but at the same time, you do want that direct exposure to Bitcoin, because one day I believe it's going to be money.
Lisa, we had a challenge. And what was that challenge for Bitcoin?
$10 weekly minimum Bitcoin.
It was either $10 a month or weekly or whatever you can do, but $10.
$10.
$10 a month, if that's all you can do, because I didn't want to leave anybody out. I didn't want anybody to say, oh, well, I can't do $10 a week. You left me out. I said $10 a month. Just one time, if that's what you can do, or $10 a week, if that's what you can do. Because I wanted to see what it's going to be a year from now. Now, personally speaking, and I always mention this on every live, because I was in front of a gas station. I had a red hat on and a white t-shirt with red writing. And I said, oh, wow, this gas station has Bitcoin. I wonder what they know that you don't know. At the time, Bitcoin was $27,000. It is over $68,000 now. So for the people who've been following me, has fear cost you? Probably yes. Yes. Yes, yes. With any stock, yes. However, we don't have any excuse. We can't say, well, that's it. Lisa and Prez and Robert said, that's it. We can't do it. We just need to stop. We lost. We missed the boat. I didn't say that. I said it could cost you. But now that we are all here, let's not let that stop us from making a move.
Because there's always an opportunity somewhere.
Yeah.
If you may have missed the bottom of Bitcoin, but there's maybe something else better than Bitcoin one day that you may miss out on because you didn't take the time to do the research or actually pull the trigger. Sometimes you got to get out of your own way and take a chance.
Mm-hmm. Can I share just one more? Sure. Hearing feedback? I don't know. And to the other screen, please. The other.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Because what you were just touching on about, the interest rate at the banks, I think this is kind of the point that you're trying to share. $7,000 saved a year is a substantial amount to most people. That can get you a value of, say, $245,000 at probably your local bank. But $7,000 a year invested is going to accumulate to over $2 million in time. So I think, I just wanted to share that as another kind of long-term visual and numbers to just help to bring the points of not letting fear hold you back, thinking that I can just concentrate on my saving as opposed to my investing, just like the percentages that we're looking at with, even if it's a regular normal 10 to 12% rate of return, then you mix in a few things that, like, your Amazon or Apple at a 30 or so percent return. You have some Bitcoin in there where you might get some of these larger rates of return. It's all going to be growing at a faster pace, and you're receiving dividends that can then be reinvested. It's just a totally different opportunity for growth than just putting your money in the bank or letting it sit in an envelope or in a whatever. I was going to start making a joke about that book that who put the money in.
That's why I started to laugh. That's why I started to laugh.
But yeah, you said that was offline talk, so let me stop talking about that. But let me take a quick second to say hello to Trudy. Thanks for tuning in, Trudy.
Oh boy, y'all, if that's the topic of conversation. Have
And
y'all ever? Have y'all
I,
ever? Go ahead. I'm sorry, Lisa. Go
no,
ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think Junior. I'm taking a look at the chat. I haven't looked at it in a while. I think Junior was sharing another book recommendation, Atomic Habits.
Good one.
Yes. I don't. But like I said, I'm being truthful here. I'm truthful all of the time. I really haven't been reading much books, but I have other ways that I am learning and growing in my investing and financial journey here.
Here, y'all. Listen. Listen. You got Lisa J-Stoks. Lisa. You got Prez the Investor. You got myself. You got a lot of YouTubers. You know, Keenan Grace, Stock Mo, Chris saying you got a lot of YouTubers giving out game about investing for the long term and investing short term and things of that nature. The way technology is, our parents and grandparents had an excuse. Now we don't have an excuse because we walk around with an encyclopedia on our pocket. You know, a buddy of mine, really a mentor, says use it as a smartphone, not a slow phone. Use it for something. It's smart for a reason. Make sure you utilize it for smarts. So if I ask him a question, he's more like a mentor. He'll say, "Can that something that you Google, Mr. Google? Can you ask Mr. Google that question?" Yeah, you're right. I can. You know, some of these questions we can ask Mr. Google. However, we cannot. Hey, the man,
My dog.
the myth, the legend, Keenan. Keenan Grace in the building, guys.
Keenan,
Listen, go ahead.
Keenan's been lurking, watching us, and wasn't saying anything.
Yeah. Look. I can go ahead and retire now. It's a wrap. Keenan Grace in the building. Listen, y'all. I just literally said it. If you do not know who this guy is right here, you might want to check this guy out, Keenan Grace. I'm dead serious. Check him out. Like, no shade, all love. This, I'm telling you, Keenan Grace.
I'm here to witness that guy changed my life.
Yes.
Straight up.
That guy changed my life, man.
Straight up. Like, I look, y'all don't understand. It's like after you go to a cookout and you go to a cookout and you eat food and then they bring out the dessert and you like, man, look. Y'all, it's a wrap. I don't have nothing. I'm hey.
He made your day.
Yeah, that literally.
Yeah.
I'm speechless.
That's where I met Prez. That's where I know Trudy from. And other people in the chat today have said that's where they know us from also. So yeah, the Discord is a great community. And I'm telling you, this is what we do over there. If you have a question, you could put it in there. Keenan might answer the question himself, but in addition to that, you know, there are so many other people that chime in and are willing to help and share the knowledge too. So yeah. And like Prez said, I just put out a short, I think maybe yesterday. Prez said the price of the Discord is, you know, phenomenal and is worth it.
It's worth way more than the price you're gonna pay.
We've been, you know, a part of it for years and learning and growing, and as well as just what he shares here on YouTube.
Listen, I believe his Discord is $10 a month. Is that it? Okay. Yep. Let me explain this to y'all. Okay, listen. And I'm just keeping it real. The value he gives on his channel, his Discord should be $1,000 minimal just to enter his Discord. I'm just gonna keep it real with you guys.
Or more.
I'm talking minimal on the minimum side. Like, and I'm not just saying that because he's in here. I'm straight up, like, literally. You are not subscribed to this man's channel. I'm going to put him up again. Go ahead. Straight up. Y'all, I'm speechless at this point.
Yeah.
I'm I'm speechless, man.
I'm not, because I seen a comment earlier like pulling the trigger is hard sometimes. Just think about if you ever bought a scratch off. It wasn't hard when you bought that scratch off. Now that's $3 to $5, $10 that you just gave away. Did you win anything? You probably didn't. What about the lottery ticket that you may have bought? Did you win anything? Probably not. Did you bet on the basketball game? Did you might have won, but if you didn't, you lost everything you put on that bet. You can believe that. That wasn't hard. If you smoke, you bought that pack of cigarettes or whatever it is you smoke. It wasn't hard when you bought that. Did you really need it? No, it actually harms your health.
And that's facts. And I have a short on that where I scratched off a lottery ticket, and I said lottery versus stocks or lottery versus crypto. I scratched off a lottery ticket. I didn't win. And the only reason I bought it was for content purposes. I knew I wasn't going to win anything. But the whole point was once you scratch off that lotto ticket, it is a wrap. It is done. It is finished. It's finito. That's it. Once you pick those numbers, Lisa, the winning number is 21. Oh, 36, 52. Oh, wow. You know, it's a wrap after that. You know what I'm saying? The winning numbers, it's a wrap. You can't do anything. Think about stocks. If you pick a valuable stock, a good stock, doesn't matter if it fluctuates up and down, it's still moving on the market. If you pick Bitcoin, Ethereum, a good play as it relates to long term, it's still fluctuating in the market. You don't have to worry about that. But certain things, shoes, I got shoes from high school that I don't wear. You know, I was graceful enough to have shoes that I still have the same size since high school. But listen, I don't wear them anymore. They're in the closet in the box. I mean, you know, things that we don't have. I mean, people got tags and clothes, and that's with clothes that they never wear. But the problem that we have as a people is we hear people talk about investing. We see people talking about things, but we get fearful because we think, well, is it a scam? Is it? I don't know about this. It can't be real. It can't be. Prez, he can't be telling the truth. Lisa can't be telling Robert. It ain't no way. It can't be. I'm scared.
Do your research. Be consistent. You can't jump in here for, don't jump in and do it for a few weeks and say you put in the work. I want to see, like I've shared some videos of, at the 365-day mark, at the 500-day mark, at the whatever, at week 68. And I make sure to include that, now this is just me living my life, but I'm sharing that in my video to show you that I am being consistent. This didn't happen overnight. And you have to give it time to grow and be on track. You can't be saying, oh, let me slack off on my investing because of this, that, and the other. When I say I invest $10 every day into VTI, I mean, I have literally been doing that for, over 500 days now. So, it takes time. Sometimes when you start investing into something, you're going to be, in the red, but you have to give it time and focus and a chance, and pair that with making the good investment choices. And I believe that you will see progress and success from that. But I'm not telling you it's going to happen overnight. This is where I'm about being real with what I'm sharing through, my channel. And I think both of you are also. Make a plan and put it into action and don't slack off. But yeah.
And what I'm going to say to everyone in the chat, thanks so much for everyone coming in. I appreciate each and every one of you for, investing in yourself by listening and getting knowledge and asking questions. Because a lot of times we are here in the rooms, but we won't ask the right questions, or we won't ask any questions. Thanks. A lot of people have been in the chat talking and asking questions. Also, I appreciate each and every person who've actually shared the video out and actually commented, talking about good books and good comments. Also, everyone, listen, if you have not made the decision to invest in yourself, please do that, because we don't want to be sitting in Bali somewhere, talking about, remember when we was talking about, da 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 da, and then everyone can't come. We don't want it to be a situation where everyone has to work past the retirement age, because here's the thing: things are going to go up in price. I'm going to tell you, things will go up. Automation, unfortunately, will take out some jobs. Unfortunately. So what are we going to do to make sure that we're preparing ourselves so that we won't be caught off guard when those things happening? There's no question like that except the ones that you don't ask. You're right. The ones that you don't ask is really the question that you should ask, because it's somebody else who may want to know the answer. In closing, Prez, anything you want to talk about and say?
In closing, I think I pretty much hit on everything that I had to say for today. I think I did. Just get started if you haven't got started, and if you are already started or just starting, just stay consistent. The point in the market that we're in now, we're at a high point in the market, so be prepared for a decrease in the value, and stay consistent. Just look at it like this: you're getting good companies or good investments for a cheaper price. You're getting more. You're buying more for less. That's why I really encourage dollar cost averaging versus lump sum investing. You have a set amount and you stick with it no matter what. Don't even look at the price. If you believe in that investment and you've taken the time to actually do your research, don't even worry about the price. Just continue to be consistent, and you'll end up winning in the long term.
Lisa, in closing, do you have anything you want to say?
Yes, I agree with what Prez is saying. Just realize where, depending on where you're at in life, just realize that this is a long-term thing, and give it time, be consistent, and don't think that investing is not for you, because it is for us all. It's for everyone, and we need to take advantage of this opportunity and focus on yourself first. But I definitely love to share that there are ways that we can help the kids too, even if it's just at Christmas and birthday. Put a little bit aside for them, invest for them. Just let's do something different. Now that we know about these things, we can go forward and have a different financial outlook for ourselves and for our kids. So, I appreciate you having me on today, Robert. It's been great chatting with you both. And I look forward to doing something with you again in the future.
Rhea said, "Don't close."
Did you get here late, Rhea? You can check me and Prez out tomorrow if you want some more.
Rhea said, "Nah, y'all ain't going nowhere."
We'll be back again with Robert soon. I don't know whose channel she's watching from. We'll be back again soon.
You know what?
The replay.
we definitely gave out some valuable information, everyone. And the good thing about it is I'm so happy that people are still in tune and want to hear more. I'm so really overjoyed. Thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you, Prez the Investor. Thank you for everyone who, like I said, came. You could be doing anything on a Saturday, but you wanted to listen and learn to get and grow to do more. You know what I'm saying? It really, to me, I'm telling you, I'm overjoyed. Because, one thing my grandmother said, before she passed, she would always ask me, Robert, what information do you know? And I would tell her something new. And then she would tell me something new. And then I would see her, other people, she would get on the phone and she's, "Oh, have you heard about this?" And she would regurgitate the information, make sure she understood it, and make sure I understood the information she gave me. But one thing she always said was, you need to make sure that you're giving out value. You can't just sit up there and hold the information in. "Oh, I want to keep it all to myself." You can't do that. You have to give it out. And before she passed, she would tell me, "This is what you need to do. This is why I came to YouTube." You know what I'm saying? This is what you need to do. You need to make sure that you are doing stuff to help individuals. And the bottom line, people, if you're here, I look at it like Olive Garden. If you're here, your family. Look, appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Definitely check out Prez the Investor and Lisa J-Stoks on tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll see you all on the next side of greatness. We'll talk to you. All right, bye-bye now.